Good evening. Thanks again for being here with us. I'm Jinchi, and together with my team, Charles, Vikram, and Vinod, we welcome you once more to Troublemakers Assembly, organized by the Design School at Taylor's University. Now, today is a very special day because this is our last and fifth and last e-conference for the year, and also because it's the eve of Deepavali. For friends who are celebrating, we wish you a happy Deepavali. So, to all Taylor staff, there are two registrations you have to do. One is in HRSS if you have not already done so, and the other is to register your attendance here. For that, we will provide the link in the live feed towards the end of the session. This is only for Taylor staff, not Taylor students. For other university staff and students whose institutions require proof of attendance, you may write to us. Troublemakers Assembly is a gathering to honor and learn from the inspirational work done by an array of engaging personalities who have, in their own unique ways, made a mark in society through creative problem solving. This series of e-conferences aim at creating audience immersion through an active and meaningful content with the end objective of inspiring the audience to become their very own change makers. Now, there is a survey that we have prepared for you so we can get your suggestions for future improvement. The survey link will be provided in the feed after the talk. Don't forget to like our page and our live feed. Now, let me formally introduce our speaker for this evening, Encik Izat Arif Saiful Bahri, a multidisciplinary practitioner whose work often conveys an ironic commentary on everyday life and the art ecosystem of Kuala Lumpur. The title of his presentation this evening is Macam Yes, Tapi No. So before I pass the session over to the speaker, I encourage everyone to post at least one question for Izat in our live feed during or towards the end of his presentation, as we would love to hear from everyone. Thank you. Let us now welcome Izat Arif.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you. Yeah. So, I'm Izat. I'm an artist. Mainly I make different kinds of work, but I'm mostly in the visual art scene, I think. So, I've been practicing for now about 10 years, and it's not getting easier, I think so. But I will share with you a part of my practice that I'm currently focusing on now. Okay, so hold on. Okay. So I hope I got the right window. Can everybody see? Yes, is it okay? Yeah. Okay. So so the title of my presentation is Macam Yes Tapi No. I had a problem of figuring out the title of this presentation, so I asked a few friends as well. They didn't give me any solution, so I had to decide on my own. So they gave me some suggestion, but which they were bad. So I chose this phrase because I guess it generally captures my practice or what I'm trying to do, like that sort of contradiction and also that uncertainty of things around us. Yeah. So okay, we can start now. This is my work in 2013. I did it's two T-shirts with the Arabic letters in the Arabic alphabet, these two letters are side by side. So when you recite the alphabet, you will come across these two letters. So these two letters, if you know, the sound for the first one is fa, and the sound for the second one is kof. So this installation I made for a young contemporary award competition that Balai Seni organized. So this was in 2013. So I got through the second round, which you had to make the work based on your proposal. So I made this T-shirt on a rack, black T-shirt with silk screen print. So this during this time, I was commenting on the issue of a church in Sabah that use Sabah or Sarawak, I can't remember, that use the word Allah in the Bible. So it was a big outrage and everything. So I decided to respond to this by talking about that slippage in the text and slippage in the language. So I presented these two letters fa and kof next to each other on black T-shirt because for sort of to leave it up to the audience to decide what they read it, or if they want to read it certain way. Some people you can read it in a very negative way. Some people chose to read it in a positive way. But yeah, so the outcome was a mixed outcome. But eventually, during the end of the exhibition, almost towards the end of the exhibition, this work got taken down because the ceremony was initiated by one of the, what's it called, minister, and they had to put down this work. So on the night of the event, the curator came to me and said, sorry, we put down your work. So I say, okay, never mind, I don't mind. So at that time, I wasn't that interested in the event because I knew I lost, so they didn't call me to let me know that I won. So yeah, so I was more interested. I had futsal after that, so I was more interested in that. So yeah, the next morning was a big deal because it became a spectacle because of the censorship of. It became a censorship issue for Balai Seni. And the next morning they called us, me and another artist, they put down the work, which was a political work. So they called both of us for a meeting and they wanted to apologize, and we had a discussion with the chairman and the director and then the curators of the show to discuss this problem. And then the same day, the press, Malaysia Kini, I think, were around to ask question, but I left and then they emailed me. But the problem with, I mean, not the problem, but what I found out about this work was like a lot of people tried to piggyback on the issue of censorship to hit at Balai Seni as a government agency, you know, to talk about censorship. It is okay, you know, but in the end, the idea of the work was lost somewhere. So even the press, they want to ask questions, which I will show later, about this censorship and trying to sensationalize quite a small issue that happens only in the art world bubble, which I mean, it's okay to not care about the art world bubble, which is very echo chamber. It's an echo chamber, a silo. So yeah. So after this work, I made another work, but I will show you after this whole censorship happened, and then I didn't want to do art anymore. No, for a while. Then I stopped for about 2-3 years. So I made a response to the controversy, which I answered all the journalists' questions through making objects. So it was a installation with 10 pieces, which sort of told my side of the story of the whole controversy. Uh, so this is one of the questions that was asked by the journalist. So, would the removal of your artwork affect your decision in producing feature artworks that certain segments of society may consider as inappropriate? Was this? I bought this painting at Cash Converters. If you know, you can buy secondhand stuff for cheap, and it still has the wrapping paper, the plastic, and the price tag. So I just stenciled the question on top of the painting, the plastic actually, because during the meeting with the curators and the director said, "You better watch out next time you join this kind of competition." So I said to him, "Okay, next time I do a landscape painting for you." So I just wanted to, just, and then laugh about it. And then the curators were laughing, whatever. So he said there's something wrong with me, and then, okay, whatever. So I made this as a response to his, at that moment, and also the question of the reporter. Probably a landscape painting probably doesn't have much. It probably is appropriate, but I think probably neglecting that landscape is also inappropriate. Painting a nice picture is okay, but yeah. So so then this is another piece in the whole work. I stencil the image on a mirror in the toilet of the space. So, it's just quite obvious talking about feelings, and probably after you use the toilet, then you wash your hands, you look in the mirror, and you see, some sort of self-reflection, hopefully, I don't know, but I thought that was a nice space to put this question. So throughout all the pieces of work, there was about 10 questions I answered through various arrangement of things which I stencil on. Yeah. So this particular installation was a video which had like sort of answer sheets, which you have to answer uh, what does the two Arabic letters sound like. So you listen to like a high school, like a primary school children going to religious class, and those two letters are isolated, so they are repeating after the teacher. So pa and cough, and the kids are pa cough. So so I put this on loop, and with a piece of paper for the kids to answer for the audience, not the kids, for the audience to answer what this sounds like, and then you put it in the box. So the question of me putting this to them probably is not important. Is what you hear, and then you decide for yourself, because we live in such a nice democracy. So I put like a nice box, so you can decide what you hear, and it's not my fault if you hear something else. Okay, so this was part of the installation, because that was part of the work itself anyway, for you to decide yourself what you are hearing and what you are reading. So I make it a bit more obvious that you can write down the sound, just to make fun of it, Yeah. So after that, okay, yeah. So during this time, I sort of started my artistic practice after 2-3 years of doing woodworking, which I will promote later. So hold on, So So I made this work in 2016, right after I made that response work. So it was during this time the Rio Olympics where Lee Chong-wei lost semi-final, I think. So I saw this meme, which I thought was funny, and I thought like during the time of his loss, everybody was so passionate. The whole country was, uh, all together, and I think I didn't want. I wanted to deny his loss, sort of. So I made this podium with the number two still as the number one, and I painted the podium silver. So this was work for tribute to Lee Chong-wei. So I like that idea. Before you were Lee Chong-wei, is LCW, let China win. But now you are Dato' Lee Chong-wei, don't let China win. I thought that was so funny, and like it's just like, but everybody was like, feeling his struggle going to win Olympic. Everybody wanted to win, so I thought, yeah, maybe I make a tribute to him. So this next work is, yeah. So I skipped a few years. So coming back to 2013, during the same time as the T-shirt, I started a series of work that I didn't know I was going to continue, but this is the first edition of this series of work, which is Rahsia Menjadi Curator Yang Meyakinkan, which translates to secrets to become a convincing curator. So I made a video about less than 2 minutes about like a self-help video trying to promote a book about being a curator. So in this video, it was just a promo for the book to sort of give tips how to be a convincing curator in Malaysia lah. And the funny thing that happened after this was that somebody called me and asked if the book is still available, and if the book is available, then and if he could buy the book. But then I said that the book doesn't exist. It was just made up for the video. So yeah, but I still don't know to this day if it's a prank or it was genuine inquiry about the book. So yeah, and this is the second edition of that Rahsia series. So the second edition was in 2017. I made a self-help book of how to be a convincing artist in Malaysia. So I made a banner, and yeah, because I learned graphic design from Mr. Vinod, so this is what I learned from graphic design from him. And yeah, no, joking. I was with my friend, and I wanted to have this look of very lo-fi and very like tepi jalan kind of banner. So I was having trouble because when you already learn design, you're trying to make everything straight, and you cannot unlearn this thing. So then my friend was with me, and then he said, just don't press the shift key. So yeah, that's what I did. So everything is out of scale and out of proportion, and the fonts don't match. This crazy gradient and bad masking and everything. So yeah, I wanted that look, and I put my real phone number there to make this banner. And there is several components to the work, which is the banner, the promo video, the testimony on the wall is like testimony of people that have used the book, the actual book cased in glass to make it look like precious, and reproduction of the book that I was selling in the gallery, and these ashtrays. So I made a few ashtrays with the logo of the book. Because when they go to gallery opening, they look at the work and then they leave, they go straight outside, have a smoke. So I thought, make ashtray. I do that. So I think my attention span of looking at artwork is It's same like other people, very low. You can't spend a lot of time looking at artwork. So, but it's more of a social affair. So I made this work on how to behave like an artist in the art scene and art world, with all these little small anecdotes about my experience as well. So for this work I made the artist as a crocodile. But in Malay we have the saying buaya darat. So I personify this buaya darat as an artist. So buaya darat, probably the translation is like sort of an opportunist, or some opportunist kind of character. So the artist as the buaya darat. So in this photo on the right, the curator is the crocodile wrangler. Yeah. So and the crocodile is the artist. So it says curator yang bagus dapat menjinakkan buaya. Curator yang tak bagus juga dapat menjinakkan buaya. Depends, bergantung pada situasi. So these kind of things. So you probably trying to have to attach the artist with the idea of darat. Yeah. So when explaining work about to friends, there's a method and how to behave lah, basically. Okay. Yeah. So after this work, I was interested because I went to one part of a Malaysian jungle in Perak. So I was interested in the parang. So the parang as a tool, because when we were there, the people that were in this area, the kampung area of Perak, everybody had parang. So I was interested in this idea of the parang as a tool, and I bought my own parang. So I wanted to create an association of parang sharpener. So I made I made an association so that you you can register and become a member, and I am the president. You cannot overthrow me, and you can register. You for 20 ringgit. You get a membership card, 20 ringgit for life, a membership card, and you get a guidebook. The guidebook explains basics on how to sharpen your knife, parang, sword, or whatever, So I made this installation for a show in 2019 in Publica, and people, the audience could register. So I would give them the card on the spot and the guidebook. So I thought of this as to like sort of not so much upward, but to like ease the exhibition experience. Sometimes when you go museum, you cannot touch anything, or whatever, or gallery, you cannot touch anything. So but I allow everybody to touch everything and be part of the work itself. I actually was going to start a newsletter for all the members, all 7 members, but because there's only 7, I forgot. So I will do that maybe next year. I have plans for next year for the Persatuan. But I'm not a bad president, so I will keep my word. So okay, yeah. So this is my 2019 work, which was exhibited at Ilham. It was part of a curatorial program called Pollination, where it's a regional program initiated by the factory from Vietnam. So they choose 2 curators and 2 artists. So 1 curator and 1 artist from Vietnam, and 1 curator and 1 artist from Malaysia to create a body of work within the curatorial program. So during this time, I was back from Singapore for residency. So I wanted to create a body of work about the exoticization of culture, because from my observation in my time in Singapore, there were a lot of artists exoticizing themselves for the West, for the Western gaze. So I thought that was kind of a peculiar, weird situation to be in. So I decided to create a work about a theme park, or a memorial park for all these cultural artifacts that were made by artists. So for this Ilham show, I sort of got into the character of a developer, to develop the theme park. So I created the organizational structure of the development company, and I presented the work in a form of a proposal. So this is the proposal to build the park, which was called Taman Kenangan, based on I don't know if the viewers know Wings. It's a Malay band. They have a song called Sejati, and in one line it says, kenangan itu hanya mainan bagimu, which translates to memories are a plaything. So I wanted to create this body of work that sort of trying to talk about what do you do with your memory, your nostalgia, your cultural baggage and all your tradition. Is it just to fulfill a touristic kind of function, you know, when you make this large crease at a roundabout, or do you make like when you make this you know, that Venus flytrap plant out of cement and also put it on in a roundabout. So are all these image and these objects, or you just you know, to put in a tender so that some contractor can pay and then to can get the job, the project, and make this meaningless but, you know, extra spectacle, like, you know, object of cultural object. You don't need a 30-foot crest. You know, it doesn't make sense to have a 30-foot crest made out of cement at a roundabout in Shah Alam, because it's not that relevant, I think. So to have it that way. So yeah, so this whole installation, this whole body of work was a proposal. So I made drawings and I made diorama models, architecture models, to show the various components of the park. Yeah. So the park is, I imagine the park to be around Gunung Ledang, since Gunung Ledang is so mystical and have so many stories, so many myths, so many tales. So why not go to the center of all of this and just exoticize the exoticize to the max of this. I was going to curse, but I was reminded not to curse. So okay, yeah. So I made diorama models, and, you know, to sort of, but I guess this form, this work is going to continue. I'm making the second part of the work now, but this initial form was in, if you know, it was in a proposal format. It's finished work, but the format is a proposal format. So it, I don't know, I mean, I might have confused myself. It's not finished, but it's finished. Okay, never mind. This is just art mambo jumbo, never mind. So, okay, yeah, okay, we get to this year. So this year, everybody, yeah, you know, we start for Corona, and a lot of shit happened this year, good and bad. So during lockdown, Ilham asked me to make a few drawings about the MCO. So during this time, I made, probably I'll show you the other drawings. Okay, so I made 5 drawings. So during the MCO, I realized that there was less pollution around because we were at home. It's nice sky. So I just comment on several things that happened during the MCO. So the students that couldn't come back to their house, so all these lonely boys sleeping in their bed without being stuck in their dorms. So and then the various celebrities trying to do charity at the same time, taking 1,000 pictures of them doing charity during lockdown. Also, money was a problem during lockdown. People didn't know how, what is their next income. So we had a problem. So I just did RMO equals M0. It's just simple drawings I did for Ilham's Instagram. And I made one piece about a famous fashion influencer. Maybe you guys can recognize. I don't think I mentioned any names. So I made. I saw that there was a lot of issue about this brand plagiarizing other people's designs. So I made a work about that, and I appropriated another statement by another artist. The statement was, at the end of the day, art is not important. So this time people were saying what is essential and not essential. So I put the image 4 times and I said, at the end of the day, art is not essential pun. So then after Ilham posted this online on their social media, they were called by lawyers of said influencer, and they told Ilham to take down the work. So they obliged, and then they reposted the other 4. I posted the one that they asked to take down. Then a few days after, I got an email from the lawyer. I shall zoom in. How to zoom in? Oh, cannot zoom in. I hope you can see. You can look at my Instagram if you want to see the letter. So they asked me to put down the work, which I did. But at that time, a lot of people knew about it, and it was on Twitter, so people reposted, and on Instagram. I don't have Twitter. I don't understand. I'm not a boomer, but I don't understand Twitter because it's just so much. So, but it was on Twitter, and I guess they couldn't stop the work being circulated because the initial accusation was that I was selling the work, which I wasn't. I was just displaying the work on social media. So yeah, this is what happened this year. Kind of funny and kind of so, but never mind. Yeah. So then, we come to this year as well. During Black Lives Matters, people were throwing all the colonial statues on the world. People were throwing into the river and destroying them. So I sort of made this to challenge Singaporean to throw their master into the river, since they love Stamford Raffles so much and they cannot let go of Stamford Raffles, and then give the pedestal to me because I like pedestals, and never mind. And so so then this work got mixed attention because some people thought I was supporting to take down the monument. Some people thought I wasn't supporting. I was making fun of taking down the statue, but I was, I wanted to take down the statue. I mean, it's good to take down the statue and save the pedestal for me, but it was sort of a challenge to see you can be brave online and say about Black Lives Matter and be woke, but when it comes to your own backyard, what do you want to do? Are you as brave as you are when it happens outside some other country? So especially Stanford Raffles and this because last year or 2 years ago was last year 2019 was 200 years celebration of Stanford Raffles, and this unnecessary what do you call unnecessary admiration towards Stanford Raffles. So I wanted to challenge this. I wanted to ask, are you brave to do this? You can talk about things that happen outside, but what about here? What about now? And I don't know. Okay, never mind. We move on. So this year, also quite busy. I don't know. Quite busy this year. Is after June. I think I was in a group show. So I made new works. This is new works that I sort of started when I did those response to that journalist during my t-shirt, controversial t-shirt. So I made these two signboard because now when you go out, you see a lot of construction, especially on my route from my house to my girlfriend's house, my ex-girlfriend, which is now my wife now. So this was my route that I saw along the way traveling to see her. This signboard of road construction. So I just wanted to put some statement about art scene, about the art world in this format. So for this first one, I was talking about this the idea of having to translate your title for the people that actually go to the gallery, which is upper class, the Bangsa bubble, because they cannot relate to Mazlan. If you talk about them about real world things, they sometimes it gets lost. So you have to translate your title, like just a simple title as buaya. You need to translate to crocodile. I have no idea what crocodile about buaya is. Buaya is okay, but you live here and then it's okay, and then it's like, for me, it's kind of why every time I have to help them relate to the work, and I think it's also you need this to do homework when you want to think about an artwork as well. So this certain group, you have to make the artwork to feel them. So I said, sometimes I have to write my titles in English and Malay so that you can relate to Mazlan. But who the fuck is Mazlan? I just created Mazlan from nothing. So yeah, so this was the work. And also, talking about graphic design. I love, because Mr. Vinod used to teach me graphic design in my age. So I remember him talking about Comic Sans and how he hated Comic Sans. So I made this work sort of to also think about visual communication as well, how probably the presentation of the artwork and all the accessories around it can elevate not like a very simple abstract painting. So yeah, that was just a comment on the packaging of artists or artwork or exhibition. Yeah, so now I just opened my solo exhibition after 10 years not doing any solo at the Fine Art. It's on now until 28 November. So if you guys want to reach lockdown, you can go, make it worth it, go to my show. Okay, sorry, I'm promoting too much. Okay, so this is the work. Oh no, what happened? Actually, sorry. I will, sorry. I have few photos of, oh my god. Sorry ya. Why dia tak keluar? Sorry. Okay. Present a window. Okay. So this is the current work which is in Richard Co Fine Art Bangsa Jalan Telawi 2 now. if you want to go, you can make an appointment with the gallery and have a look at my new work, which is a continuation of the Mazlan and the font work, but bigger, more works. You can can you see? Can you see the new work? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, oh my God. What is going on? So I made a few more signage and to show the same idea about the art scene as well. And I use automotive paint to make it super flat. You can't see in the photo how flat it is. It looks like a sticker, but it's a painting. So I tried this method of using the car paint and with the lacquer on top to make it finish. Maybe if you go, you can see for yourself how flat it is. And it's a painting, but it doesn't have the character or attributes of a painting. So I tried this method for this work. So this is one of the pieces that is on as well. So I was talking about, in the Taman Kenangan work, this exoticization. So I wanted to continue. So my work is basically, there's a lot of, it's interconnected, and some ideas will jump to another work and they will, always carry forward. So the work is, you can see obvious traces where it continues, but sometimes it will reference another work. So that is the nature of the practice, which I don't make the same things again and again and again. Then I think this should be wait, I have my okay. Oh, no. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you. Follow me on Instagram. I don't have Twitter, so don't follow me on Twitter. And there's my website URL, so you can check out my portfolio as well. All my other works. There are a lot of other works that I didn't put in. So, but because of this topic of this presentation, I wanted to not confuse anybody. But there's different kind of work as well, which you can have a look at, or on my Instagram, which also is pointless. But I want more followers. That's what we do now these days. So please follow me. Okay. Yeah. I think. Okay, I'm done. So should I stop or the?
Thank you very much, Izat. That was very, very interesting. A lot of thoughts going through my mind. And we have prepared a few questions for you. I believe that our participants also have some questions. While we wait for them to ask, I think maybe Vinod can start off with some questions first.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
First, thank you for the lively presentation. It was excellent. I wouldn't have. I'm just happy that that I got to go sit through it, and a lot of times I wonder, what my students or my ex-students do, and so some of them are creating trouble out there, which is good. I'm glad that you are one of them as well.
Nice.
In that instance. Okay, so let's get down to some questions. Now, I know for a while there, there seems to be a undercurrent under the works that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is based on cynicism and sarcasm. So I'm just wondering, have you always been that way, or is something that developed as a result of the art scene or as a result of the art scene in Malaysia, or just as a result of staying in Malaysia?
Yeah, I don't think it's just about being in Malaysia. It happens. I think it's a global thing. But I guess when you lepak and you talk at a teh tarik kind of setting, sometimes you talk about different work and different stuff and what's going on, and somehow I found that those conversations were more important than the work that was in the gallery, So I don't know why we go so far create work when actually the ideas of the work are very immediate and in front of our face. It's just I think how the challenge is how to creatively present these things. So, for example, talking about Malays, the parang is quite a symbol, but a violent symbol. So I thought that was my criticism towards that violent symbol by creating an association to sharpen parang, So instead of drawing a parang, why not create that activity? Create that activity. All works are criticism of something, but the method that we access it. Also, I like to inhabit different character, different role. I wanted to become a president of association. I wanted to become a developer. I wanted to become a self-help guru, or motivational speaker. I wanted to sell self-help books. Yeah. So I thought those characters were interesting to inhabit for maybe 6-7 months of producing the work, and to just be focused on that, and then to try to create the paraphernalia of that work based on the content that that I choose to execute. Right. So the I think the most common work in the local art scene is always work about spirituality, like all these kind of things. That I don't want to learn about spirituality from a bloody painting. I want to learn spirituality from my father, or something. I don't want to go to a gallery and have to be imposed on.
Okay. Thanks for the answer. Now, could you stop sharing the screen so that the audience can see you?
Okay.
Clearer.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Right. So no problem. I have a question now. Another question. So, considering the some of the issues that have come about due to your work, one being the lawyer letter and some of the other controversial things, isn't being a fine artist in Malaysia a risky business or career option?
No. I mean, it's quite sterile. No, not sterile. Sterile is the word. No, it's quite safe. You make nice picture, you put in the gallery, you sell, and life goes on. Basically you're still making products. You're still making something to sell. The risk is if you don't make those products that people want to buy. Yeah, I think because or if you want to say something, that's a risk. But if you want to make a landscape painting, I don't see a risk. It's a matter of how much you will get lah. I think if you're talking about as a career, but I think it's a privileged position to be an artist, very privileged, and I'm thankful of because I can be an artist. but it presents certain challenges that are exciting to try and face. Today not today. These past 3 days, I had a problem of trying to figure out a 3D model to make into a 3D print. But because I don't have any knowledge of using SketchUp or whatever and all this 3D software, it was crazy. So I think these things make it fun. Last month, I was trying to figure out how to use automotive paint. And so you learn all these things, you meet different people and you connect, and then you just talk about other things. And risk is always there with anything, but it's fun. To me, it's fun. Of course, I come back and then I say, oh, this is very hard to do. And I tell my wife, and then she said, isn't that what you wanted? She said, okay, is that what you wanted? She said, oh yeah, okay. So, yeah, but yeah, I don't know. This Chris probably.
Okay, let me ask you this. When you received that lawyer's notice, right, the letter or whatever it is that came to you, weren't you afraid? How did you get through that period?
Afraid lah. I was afraid, like, what the fuck am I gonna do, because I don't have money to hire a lawyer to defend myself.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I have some friends that know about these things, and I asked them, and we sort of worked it out together and saw how I wasn't in any trouble. So I'm thankful for having these friends. And but of course, but I guess that keeps you wanting to do more. It keeps you going as well. I mean, I tried being in a studio and working and drawing and whatever, and it just sort of, I cannot. I don't know how other people do it. I can't stay in the studio and be alone and trying to make masterpiece kind of work. It's just too much. It's not. To me, it's very, that isolation is not real. You need to go out and you need to experience to make work. And I think that I try to make my work as accessible as possible. But that, coming back to your first question before, that access point is I choose very, very everyday access point. I'm not talking about something that's very far away from reality, which is I think how art should be seen. It's not that far.
Okay, so when you have, being a fine artist is, it's not like a fixed income thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how do you balance the business part of being a fine artist and the the part that that makes you a fine artist?
Yeah, sometimes you have to do things for exposure. Sometimes you have to just you have to do things for free, and also you have to do things for nothing, and you have to believe that when you get something, it's going back into your practice. So I do a lot of things that I don't show, and I do a lot of things that I get shit pay, but it helps the practice, because in the end you believe in your practice and you want to fund your own practice. It's all own. You can apply for funding, but you can't be the only one applying for funding and you getting the same funding for 10 times every year. So it's not fair for other people. But you have to work and you have to do. That's why you have to have other skills. That's why I learned how to use automotive paint. You learn how to do woodworking, graphic design, and then you learn how to do 3D work. But you have to you do jobs. So to survive, you need the professional life is split into various components that in the beginning you fake it, until you make it. So somebody asked me to build I think it was a tiger out of fiberglass. Like a real life-size tiger made of fiberglass. I don't know how to do this, but you call people and say, hey, how do you do this? So you become contractor lah. It's like, okay, if you need 1,000, okay, I charge the client 1,500. You get 500. You go on. I think it's quite normal to behave like this, and but because you need to fund the practice.
Right.
If you practice, ultimately there's no guarantee. I mean, what I make, there's no what I personally make. There's no guarantee in sale. It might not sell. So I don't worry, because I have all these other things that I'm doing so that I can support myself and the practice.
Okay. So was the teaching stint in MIA and the furniture design part of that business consideration, or was it a mix of both?
The teaching in MIA, because I just came back from studying, I wanted
sorry, just for the audience out there, MIA is the Malaysian Institute of Arts, which was where Izat graduated from initially, and where I taught for a short period of time, for a long period of time, 8 years. Then, so anyways, yes, so you can continue again, sorry.
Yeah, so I thought of MIA as a chance to test out a few ideas and as well. But when I came back, I was teaching, and then when I started to teach, it was the same syllabus that I was studying. So I was like, okay, this needs to be revamped. But of course, when you just finish and then you go into this job, you're very idealist and you want to do crazy things. But I think I was lucky because I left, because I don't know what would happen if I stay on, and probably the idea of doing that just sort of slowly kill me and slowly just hack away at me. And for that 10 months, I was doing crazy things with the student, and they hijacked the MIA gallery, just wrapped everything in white paper, and then the gallery manager came down. He was angry, saw the head of department, so it was chaos. And then another group, they were doing performance in the corridor, disturbing all the class. So I thought I wanted them to think. We got into trouble a few times. But then after I stopped, a few of them came to work with me. And we become friends. We hang out and everything. So I think that time was quite kind of fun. And but when I did join, I didn't think about that idea of salary. I never thought about it. I just wanted to, let's try something. And I made a show for them. I mean, we organized a show together, exhibition in their third year, which was not usual to have a year show. We did outside, and we self-organized. So I just wanted them, because when I was studying, I didn't get that opportunity from within the school to experience the professional side of being an artist. It was just, go to class, finish this, learn this theory, blah, and go finish your assignment. I wanted them to have a taste of the reality of being an artist. It's not just making it work. You have to think about, how to produce, how you need to get money to produce. If you don't have money, how do you make the poster? Can you DIY? How do you promote the show? And how do you, logistic and everything? How you talk to gallery? So when I finished, after graduating in MIA, I didn't know what to do. There was no, you know how to make your portfolio and CV, but how the fuck do you, how do you become an artist? How do you become a professional artist? Because there's no guideline. I mean, I'm sure it's not supposed to be, to have a guideline, but, we are in art school. We are supposed to be surrounded by artists. We should have some professional guidance, because it's a profession. It's not it's not a hobby, it's a profession. So you need to, I wouldn't say, spoon feed this, but you need to have a taste so that you can, okay, I can see what's going on. Probably I can do my own way how to survive. I don't want, I mean, it's fair not to spoon feed. This is how you do it, A to B to Z, but to have a taste. So during my time teaching, I gave them this taste of how to be a professional artist.
Okay.
And then
we have a question from the floor. But before I ask that question, so I think if we, in the interest of time, if we can make this concise a little bit, because I think there's a lot of questions to go through, but also questions from the floor. So
okay.
Suzy Sulaiman who's watching, asked whether you could expand on this pretty interesting sentence that you said, which was, being an artist is a privilege. Can you expand on that? Yeah, because I think a lot of people found, I think those who were listening, and I think Suzy picked up on that, found that to be quite altruistic to some degree.
Well, I don't go to office. I don't have a 9 to 5 timing. I don't answer to anyone. And so that's quite a big privilege. And I can do whatever I want in my wildest imagination to make. No, so not many people have that privilege, I think. In that terms of what you want to make and what you want to do and how you want to think. I think that's in I was talking in that aspect of
right. I think we can empathize with that. I think we should. Those of us who are on a salaried what do you get, occupation.
It's a privilege also to be able to talk and to be able to say what you want to say in an art form. It's a privilege. I mean, to be, I always ask, artists, who are you, as an artist, why do you have the right to say all these things? Just because you're an artist. So it's a privilege to be able to say things, as freely as. I think in that aspect, I can and but also it comes at the cost of not having at the end of the month a confirmed thing. So that's the other side
good
of
and bad. Yeah. Thank you, Suzy, for the question, because Suzy was one of our ex-speakers last year. Okay, so following up on that, so what does success then look like for a fine artist? What does it take to achieve this level of success? First you have to describe what it looks like to you. What does success look like to you, and then what does it take to achieve it?
To me, I think if I can continue my practice, then I mean, the dream is not to have to do all these other shit jobs. I think to continue what I do is some level of success, I think. And of course, to be compensated for that is also success. We can't lie that money is nice. We need money, So I think, I mean, I don't want to buy a Ferrari or whatever, but probably I want to buy a house on an island. I don't know, but but it's just you need to be compensated. I think and then you manage that compensation, then you can sustain the practice, and then you can have a wonderful life of being an artist, and then you die. So I think that is successful. I think if the work, and also not just as on you